This is Cars and Bids.
And I am Tyler Hoover of Hoovie's Garage.
And I'm Kenneth.
That is a terrifying Hoovie face there.
That is.
We have today a
Fierce
challenge.
competitor.
Okay.
Fight to the death.
This is already going off the rails. We're playing a game today. It's going to be great.
Yes, we're going to be guessing the values of cars that have sold on Cars and Bids. And this will...
What? This is your job. You're the chief car enthusiast. This is your site. I'm on there every day looking and watching, but okay.
It's not Price is Right rules. You have to guess the number, and the closest person to the number wins.
He's kind of like Ken Jennings, a little bit.
He is?
Yeah, it's half my name.
Okay, so you think I have some advantage, but we sold like 25,000 cars. I don't remember what they all sold for.
But you are fanatical with this stuff.
You are too. You're Mr. Car.
No, there is the level of car enthusiasts, and then there is Doug DeMuro, which is on a planet on his own.
That would be true even if I didn't own the website.
He does. All he does is look at car values all day. And it's not
Pretty
just
much.
on our site, pretty much anywhere.
Sometimes I'll send 2 a.m. text to Kenan and be like, you know, I really think that the 550 is going to...
Yeah,
right.
He's like, he'll just send me a 612 no context, and it's like, wow, 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 wow. Is what it's. It's just, yeah.
You do this too, though. You're following all this stuff. You aren't always at Barrett. You're looking at everything. You know what everything's selling for.
I'm always on it. Yeah.
So we got no problem here.
Okay. I'll do my best.
You're going to be just
Somebody
as good as
needs
me.
to defeat Doug.
And
if there's anybody, it's going to be me.
My understanding also is that Kenan has specifically picked some Hoovie-focused cars.
Good.
So you'll have an advantage.
It's on.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to beat you again.
Let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here is the first one.
Put on your face. Put on your angry face.
First one, right up your alley. So, S600.
This is deep
V12.
Hoovie.
So just like having the price blocked out is like messing with my brain because I'm so used to seeing the screen in a certain
Let's
way,
just
and
look
it's just
at
like,
it. Okay,
what
so
has happened?
72,000 mile in Texas, no reserve, S600.
very nice.
These were the finest wheels Mercedes-Benz has offered since 2000.
The spec is beautiful. Look at that interior. Look how beautiful that leather is.
Bit of an old person's.
Yeah.
Well, I'm old.
So this is in Texas.
I like the SLR wheels a little bit, but it's kind of close. There's a little bit of turbine, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, the SLR wheels and then this. I loved these wheels. These wheels just oozed wealth.
Yep.
It was like they're not attractive, but we're very rich.
Yep.
Surprisingly-
They're not attractive, but look at that V12 badge
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
Baby.
You're looking at the wrong thing if you're looking at the wheels.
Yep.
I was going to say surprisingly reliable. Ignition coils will go out. The suspension not as poppy as the previous generation S-Class.
Oh really?
You know, the air bladders in the seats will go, but
I also
overall,
loved how these looked. I think they took a big risk with the 221, and in my mind, it paid off. I loved the fenders. I loved the look of this car. The 220 is one of the worst cars ever. Freddie and I fight about this every time we're together.
I had that in my most watched videos, the one that I bought.
Oh, yeah?
No money with a blown motor.
Right.
But that 150,000 miles.
So you know exactly what these go for.
I suppose I will go to here. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Do you remember this car specifically?
Absolutely
It's fairly
not.
recent.
I remember this car.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Ready?
Let's see it.
Flip.
24069 or 10 grand
14. I'm at 14. Answer is?
19250.
off? I'm closer.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm 5250 away. You're
4,000 away.
You're
69.
you're 49 something away.
Yeah.
Can we get a calculator out here? I think you are closer, but
I'm closer.
barely. You understand barely.
Yes.
Okay, so you've won. So now here you go. See,
Okay.
I'm not just going to win every one of them.
Maintain the momentum.
It's
I
on.
can't believe you think that's a 24 car. You should have bought it. Dude, it was a deal apparently.
I guess I was a little. I mean, they have gone down a little bit in the last few years. So, yeah.
But
All right. I should have looked at. I should have looked at the date. Sorry.
Hoovie's off to a strong start here.
All right.
Hoovie's off to a
All
strong
right.
start.
The next car.
Ooh. And
Oh
this is
my.
in January of 21.
Yep. 5-speed manual.
Is that pink?
It was. It's red. It's like sunrise red or something like that. So pink. Yes.
If you were going to buy a 94 to 98 SN95, this is the one. It's a stick, one owner, V8, low mile. I prefer the convertible. Not everybody does. But
Right.
ideally, you would not buy a 94 to 98 Mustang. That would be your hope. But if you had to, I know the answer.
You remember this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I remember this. I edited that lead. I remember cropping that myself.
You remember thinking, this thing is pink. It's at a dealer in Florida.
Yeah. Man, those 3-spoke wheels.
Like the seat bottoms look like they were redone. Like that. So there's some
It's
wear
a
on this
40,000
thing.
mile car.
The known flaws really helps on some
Yeah.
of these. The headlights are a little, faded.
Right, like,
Looks
does it have a bad Carfax?
Yeah.
Still though, dude, this
Am I high? Am I?
Get out of here. Okay, yeah. He says 11. I say 13. The answer is
All right. We were both way high though, but I think
That's what these are
it's
worth.
just showing more wear. I imagine if we saw the known flaws and all of that, it would make a big
Man,
difference.
these
yeah.
Mustangs are just worthless. They are just worthless cars. This is the nicest one in the world. Pink,
It's not.
stick.
No, I mean, as far as the spec, yes, as the bright color.
Well, but also it's a stick V8 one owner, low mile. Like this is it,
Right,
and
this
it
was-
brought
and it was-
62.
Not only that, it was winter of 21. Like this, cars.
Well,
were
it was
selling-
early 21 now.
But
Yeah.
still, cars were still on the ascendancy for like bringing money.
it's also in Florida, and
bucks.
people are just naturally like, ugh, so like.
Yeah, but this is what cars like this do in Florida. This is what you have. Some old dude. This isn't the type of Florida car that I would worry about. Do you know what I mean?
right.
Okay, next car.
You're killing it. You're up 2-0. So how do you feel now?
Prowler.
What?
12,900 miles. Cali car.
So it's going to be within 5,000 of 30. We know that, no matter what, right?
I don't know. It's a low mile and it's a late one.
With that's still,
I don't know if
color-
the gold is beneficial or not. You had one of these.
yeah.
Do you like driving it?
It was okay. I mean, it's just the dash would literally move, and that was factory. Like everything was just sort of
So
bolted loosely. It seemed.
offensively.
You know what my
badly.
you know what my bad take is on this car? I prefer it with the bumpers.
Yeah. Yes, me too. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yep. The bumperettes.
I think they were part of the coolness of it. Like the
Right.
fact that they had to comply and their compliance was almost malicious.
Yes.
There's something to that. No trailer, of course. And this was December of 23, so late last
Late
year.
23. Oh. I'm going lower. I think
You want to 29?
28.
28, 34. What is it?
And
Oh,
26.
There we
Dude,
go.
I told you you'd do well.
Man,
You're over here like, oh, that's gonna win them all.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of hoopty. So
These
you,
are Hoovie
like,
cars.
You know, you've gone all. I'm
Right, I'm not.
fancy
I
now.
don't pay attention. I don't pay a lot of attention to the $6,200 car market. I have to admit.
I have not lost my everyman appeal, I suppose. With
There
the,
was a
with the
time.
hoopties.
There was a time when I paid a lot of attention to the $6,200
Right.
car market.
and
But,
you don't care anymore. Yeah.
well,
Just focus on round bellies
I just
and downdraft carb.
$6,000. I've bought so many $6,000 cars in my life that have broken my heart. You know, that I bought and they were turned out to be total trash, and then I had to stop doing that. You make it have an entire business on it. Of course you're doing well. This is set up for him. He's cheating.
No, this is
I
what,
want him to be handicapped. Can he put on a blindfold?
This is what happens whenever he wins. When he wins, it's not rigged. But when somebody else does, it must be rigged.
I love it when I get Doug to start going all Seinfeld when he starts ranting. It's great. Yeah.
Put on the next
Just
one.
gets hired.
Yeah, I know. I
We have 10
know.
of these.
What's the deal with Tyler winning?
We had 10 of these and he's at 3. I'm going to win the next 7 going
Go
on.
ahead, what are you doing?
Watch what happens.
Pace car edition. I remember this one vividly too. This was an early car.
Got
February
107,000 miles.
And if memory serves me, so I remember the signature of I think it was Dale Earnhardt. Oh no, that was the Dale Earnhardt edition. Signed like the gauges. It had like his signature on that.
Dale Earnhardt. This isn't the Dale
This
Earnhardt
isn't
edition
Dale
though.
Earnhardt, yeah.
No, this
No.
is the pace
No
car
reserve,
edition.
but pace car edition.
But I don't even think this is a blown V6. I think it was just a regular.
In 2000, I think you're right. Well, they did it with the Grand Prix. They were supercharged.
But it doesn't
yeah.
say supercharged V6. And
yeah.
I don't see, like, these aren't SS wheels by any stretch of the imagination. This was just a cosmetics package.
And also 106.
And it's got
106,000
106,000
miles.
miles. And I don't know what happened back there.
Yeah.
Something. The one time that person let his kids sit back there. Oh, I'm never letting them sit in the car again.
His grandkids, let's be honest. But yeah, you're right.
You got crumbs all over the carpet.
And then his wife's like,
Right.
oh, you have to be nice to Taylor and Braden.
What are you? We're close. Whoa, 69 to 65.
What is it?
And we'll see.
Oh,
yes!
you're on the
Yes!
board. God, that's
Take
cheap.
that, $38.75. That is
That
cheap.
is
Why didn't you buy that?
I don't think no.
That would have been a great Hoovie buy.
No.
You know, I liked that Monte Carlo
That would've-
legitimately.
That might have been the cheapest pace car in the USA. I think that would have been the angle, right?
It's not
That
a
would have been
pace
the-
car though. It's just a
pace car edition. Yes.
You know,
right.
this is another guilty pleasure car of mine. I legitimately enjoyed this Chevy Monte Carlo. It was comfortable. I kind of liked how it looked. Mm-hmm. You think I'm nuts?
Yep.
No, I honestly, I was chasing when I was a car dealer. I would buy all the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I could supercharge that GX. What's not GXPs or whatever they were called.
They were GTP.
There you go. That's and I would search those, hunt those down because
Yeah.
it seemed to appeal to people that weren't complete morons. They were cheap cars, you know, because that's the thing. I was selling cheap cars at my dealership, and then you didn't want to buy something where it just brought in like brain eaters, and that seemed to be one that worked. Old Buicks and that. So
that makes sense. People kind of knew what they were, knew what they wanted. Yeah.
My abiding memory of these is that they were rusted out in the Midwest, had a hole in the muffler, and were driven by divorced dads who were just like, just like smoking in the car, just like mad that it was snowing and slushy outside.
Yeah,
that's my abiding.
They have those
bitching to anybody. Complaining to anybody who will listen about his alimony payments and his child support payments. That's exactly what was driving this.
Yep.
And telling anybody who will listen it's a $15,000 car.
But that's what kills them is the rear subframes. It's just made out of like rebar. It looks like lattice. It just
end up like Titanic artifacts.
But this one is pretty nice, even though it looks like it's somewhere in the north. It almost looks like Michigan or something like that.
$3,800.
$3,800.
I'll tell you what,
Same as the motor.
Wherever it was, those pictures weren't taken in February though when it sold. It was probably submitted, and the guy didn't want to go no reserve.
That's a good point. These trees would not have leaves on them in February, wherever this is.
I'll bet it was he wanted a reserve because he said it worth 15. Yeah. And then he
took the pictures in the spring of 20. It tried to sell it for the entirety of a year, and then finally got it sold.
You are on the board, Doug.
Yes, it's 3-1.
3-1. 3-1. Yeah. Okay.
3-1, like the Buick Century V6 3100.
Nice. Next car.
Oh baby.
Okay.
80,000 miles. It's an 89, so it's got the thing up top, right? The storage thing, which for some reason is a value differentiator.
Looks like a little more wear on the seats and probably a repaint. It's got a little more metallic than it should.
I like where it is. I like where it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you where, but I like it.
And it was sold in December of last year.
Okay.
Yeah, those are some nice chimneys there. So
80,000 miles.
Is that Atlanta Northeast or whatever? What is that? Look at the bumper, but the chrome's kind of gotten all
He's really close to the
because it's been repainted before.
It's like right in his face, and that's an unfortunate thing. That's an advantage for him.
Yeah, the bumper when they paint fades, that weird chroming that they do in the bumper gets bad too. So this is
the paint.
The
paint's fading on the wood, right? Isn't that what that all is? So maybe it's just bad resolution.
It could also be bad.
But it
looks like it was redone.
89 with decent miles.
I will say on the computer, which is slightly higher resolution, it does look pretty faded.
Okay. Don't listen to what I write.
This is he made this accusation the last time I played this game that we were listening. Like
all right.
For an 8.
What do you got?
What do you got?
32.
32. Oh, you put cents on there too. Nice.
17.
Whoa! It must have been much rougher. Okay.
What, you 32? You think for that?
Yeah.
There was a time, dude, but it's over.
I bought one for $4,500 that was really clean in 2008.
What year?
I sold it. It was an '89, and I sold it for. I doubled my money on it. Thought I was a genius. Yeah.
It's over. The real crazy run up on Wagoneers is over. The cat's out of the bag that they're kind of hard to own.
Right.
Everyone in Connecticut and the Hamptons who bought one realized they don't want to be part of one.
Yeah.
And then they begged their mechanics to add fuel injection. They did that. It still didn't make it reliable, and then they bailed on it. That's
true.
That's the story of the last 5 years of the Grand Wagoneer.
Mine had an Edelbrock on it that it was like, oh crap, it's over 90 degrees. It's going to vapor lock. I'm going to be stuck in this parking lot for 20 minutes.
You know, one came up. Remember this? Remember the red one? Yes. One came up that, what was the shop that did it? That crazy guy, the crazy cross-country, Richard Rawlings, right?
I think it was Richard Rawlings. Maybe it was,
or Dennis Collins?
Maybe it was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Put a Hellcat V8 in it and kept it totally stock. And they wanted 75, and I really wanted it. And I went back and forth, and when I finally was like, maybe I'll call, they had already sold it.
Yep.
Hellcat in that thing?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We consider it. That was it was beautiful. Like,
it was beautiful.
Restored and it looked really
and it was OE red, which is really rare on these.
Yeah, it was nice.
So it's 3-2 you?
Yeah, you're catching up. All right.
I
didn't want to completely embarrass you, so I purposely, went
I will win.
Okay.
All right. Next car.
Ooh.
DPU, 2000. Yeah. So 2007 Azure. 50,000
that's
miles.
a lot of miles.
And God, that interior.
In California with Montana plates. Says a lot about the owner.
All right.
I love the idea of like this ultra opulent Bentley. You know, it's led the range at the time at an In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. And a Kohl's.
But still great photos.
Take it to the Kohl's. They are good photos.
Montana, of course.
They're good photos. They make you think to yourself, if you just spent money for an Azure, you too could go to Kohl's.
Get your Kohl's cash or Kohl's bucks, whatever it is, right? Yeah. Redeem it.
Maybe they're returning something like, doesn't Amazon have return like places like Kohl's? Maybe that's what they were doing.
So my Azure 2001, Jean-Claude Van Damme owned it. It sold for 50, but these 2007s because of 1 year. It's a totally different world.
Yeah.
And they're more,
Big
But
miles on this one.
Big
though.
miles.
Big miles.
How many miles did you have?
Mine, shoot, it was high on mine, 68,000 miles though. So.
And this is November of 23. That's when this was.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Man, that is just what a Bentley should look like. It's so stately.
Okay. I'm at.
Okay, what do you got?
73.
69.
69?
Yes!
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Just take that, Hoovie. You're nothing!
Wow, that was a deal. I should have bought that. Wow. The Jean-Claude Van Damminess. Okay.
Well done,
That was a
Doug.
deal. I should have bought
That was a
It
good
had
deal.
50,000 miles.
That's
Who knows what
great.
else it had? It couldn't
Can-
get past smog.
Can you imagine the top? They're just waiting for it to break.
Mine had 2 top repair receipts that were both over $10,000. I think one was in the high teens and one was in the low teens.
What?
I never got caught with it. It always worked, but
When I worked at the exotic car dealership that I worked at before I joined Cars and Biz, whenever one of these would come in, it was the only car we weren't allowed to put the top up on. The owner of the dealership had to put it on. So if it broke, it was on him and not on any of us.
yes.
It was the only one that was like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But man, scary top. But
How
such
does
a
it
cool car.
feel after your big 3-0 to now be at 3-3?
Huh?
You were ahead 3-0.
Oh, yes. We're tied up. You're
Tied
caught
up.
back up.
It's now 3-3.
Now it's a clean sweep.
With 4 to go.
I will now beat you on the next 4.
It's a clean sweep.
If you lose 7-3, which you will, won't that feel bad?
This is your home turf.
Oh, now you're saying that after going 3-0.
Yeah.
Give me the.
Let's
I
do
am
let's
so
do
sick
let's
of
do
this.
resto mods at Barrett Jackson. I wouldn't know either because they're so crazy. But yeah,
No one knows.
yeah.
Let's do resto mods at Barrett Jackson. Let's pull up a 50s Chevy pickup that some drunk boomer radically overpaid for.
It's either a $60,000 car or a $400,000 car.
It depends on which drunk boomer's in the room and how drunk they are.
Yeah.
We're going to edit all of that out,
It
by the way.
makes it exciting. But yes,
Okay, I'm doing great. You're doing less than great. Give us the next card, Kenna.
Next car. Here we go.
Oh, God, you're just giving Hoovie just Hoovie stuff. Throw an NAS Defender
Also,
on.
it's also TMU. 557 miles.
well, so
Deep
why
TMU.
is it TMU? Is it because they
'Cause they
replaced the
rebuilt the
odometer?
engine.
video like odometer.
They
that
rebuilt the
broke
engine
when
and
they
then-
went to reset the thing.
But it was 500 miles. It sat forever.
No,
And you had to,
no.
you had
They
to
rebuilt the engine, and then in the words of in the parlance of someone who's a complete idiot, they rebuilt the engine. Well, it's new now. Let's start it at 0 again, and they screwed everything up. This is a nice looking car, though.
It is.
something amazing. Those interiors just don't age.
I don't
They all
think
look
white
amazing.
walls work with the 123, but otherwise, and then
agree.
are they chrome or they're polished? I don't think that works with the 123.
Yeah, I
but,
agree on both of those points.
but otherwise, yeah, it looks very nice.
It does look nice. Interior looks nice too.
And they got the roof rack crossbars, which when I was horse trading these things, those were $500 or more. Like if it was in the salvage yard, you would steal it from a pick and pull and sell them for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
right, it made it
Yeah.
seem like going to. It's everything. All the chrome is nice, well polished, beautiful.
The headlight doors, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is tough. I mean, the spread on these prices for these is wild.
Yeah.
Are you Did you listen to what I wrote?
I did. Yeah. 32.
25. Yes.
Oh wow, you're right on the money. You remembered the car.
I did not at all remember the car
Okay.
under any circumstances. You probably remembered the car.
Crap.
Now it's 4-3. I'm on a 4-0 run. Tell us how you're feeling.
Not good. Not good.
Find the strength. You can do it.
He's
Somebody
giving you
has to beat
cars that
Doug.
are your
I know.
cars. You knew about the roof rail
that's
crossbar.
impossible. Those are like you said. There's some that have sold for $100,000.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
make any
just
sense.
Stupid.
It literally
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Next car.
Oh,
Oh.
I remember this car.
Yeah.
GT2.
Yep.
I don't remember what it sold for,
Mm-hmm.
but I do remember that I'll let you in on it. It was in a serious accident in New York,
Mm-hmm.
but it had a clean title, but it had a bad Carfax, like a Carfax badder than.
I think I remember us talking about it last year. I think as we were talking about underappreciated or cars that we want to own.
Yeah.
I think this was one
Oh.
that recently sold that we were talking
I
about.
want this car so bad.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a big ego and want a Courier GT, I would just have this and be just as happy.
Okay.
I vaguely remember where the price ended. Oh, but vaguely.
Man, it is such a cool car.
I-
Early PCCBs.
I'm wondering if I transpose the numbers, but 153 or 135.
I think it's a lot less.
100.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
95.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
sub 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with a serious accident, like sub 100.
Shoot.
Dang.
Here's an interesting factoid I learned. New York doesn't issue salvage titles for cars over 10 years old, no matter how many accidents they've been and no matter how serious. So it's just got a bad car.
So that might be the last one to transact for under 100.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be shocked how many rough 996 GT2s are out there. People bought these to use and they used them, and they come up with some stories. It's hard to find them clean.
There are some, yeah, and we've seen some modded track built ones too.
Yeah,
that
track cars go
substantially
less.
less.
But you've had one since. Did you ever read one since?
Yeah, we've sold some for real money
Mm-hmm.
now. But this was the one to get if you wanted a driver. I just have too many cars. It's
So
such a cool car.
Yes.
It's one of my very favorites.
Totally agree. All right, next car.
I'm up 5-3 now. Ooh.
Okay, Dustbuster time.
Hoovie, this screams you.
Yes.
It's even in Texas. It's
Yes.
miles from your house.
I vaguely remember this car. It was really nice. Remember, so 73,000 miles. But I remember this being really nice, and I think it was a Texas car its entire life. If memory serves.
This is miles
really
from your
nice.
house.
Right. Well, the Oldsmobile Silhouette was the most expensive of the Dustbusters, of the three ones where they offered it.
Of course.
What
do you-
3800s. Yeah, it was
I
great.
don't-
Oh, you did
I
the
don't
video
know
on
any
it.
of
You did the video on it, of course. Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Sorry, I shouldn't speak to. Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't know anything about cars like this, and I know a lot. I love a Dustbuster, man. Lumina APV.
Excellent.
Again,
Can you name
another-
the third Dustbuster?
No, of course not.
The Pontiac Transport,
Hell yeah.
which I think those are good looking. They look the most spaceshipy to me. But the
None of
Oldsmobile,
them
I like
were
that too.
good looking, but they are so cool.
Yeah.
This
Again.
is a 3800. They didn't all have 3800s. There's 34s, right?
No, that's the bigger option motor. Yes.
Yeah.
He
So
is-
this is the one.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
once asserted to me the only cars I know were cars that were like depreciated and very used, like during the recession era.
He was like awake in Ohio in 2008, so he kind of paid attention to like the cars that were around there.
Right.
That's my normal car knowledge is defined at that era because I just don't care.
But I lean towards the Previa, and I thought the Previa was. I actually had one.
I loved these.
I like them too, but I haven't owned one. I didn't own the Previas.
I did a video on one. It has a power sliding door, and when you open it, it plays a song to like make sure your hand, instead of saying like "get away with your hand," it's like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Total trash.
I think I just avoided them as a car dealer because the transmissions were
Yeah.
so weak and impossible to
Yeah.
fix. Like, it wasn't worth it to fix, obviously.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'd
that
go
was,
for the
that was
Previas.
the problem. That is still the problem, and eventually this trans will go out too. And that's when you do a stick swap rear-wheel drive at a V8.
Okay.
Dang. So aggressive.
However, these have gotten some excitement lately, so I think I'm pretty confident in my number.
Okay. I will say, although I don't really care about cars like this, it is seeing a Survivor is always cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what.
I
it is,
filmed
just
the
think-
video of this car. I absolutely loved it. It was super, super.
Well,
Didn't the one
you
you-
did the gold one.
Didn't the one you filmed wasn't it going to like a junkyard right after?
After I finished filming it, it was junked. Yeah, but you know, hey, probably true of this one too.
Right.
Bro,
All right,
Well, we'll see what's
flip
up.
them.
4,500?
12? You said 12. 11. Wow. Even I was like,
Because cars and
remembered
bids
that.
gets you the most money for your car.
Unless it's a pace car edition.
Unless it's a
Carlo.
pace car edition Monte Carlo,
I'm stunned,
then don't bring us that, please.
stunned that you guessed that high. You must have slightly remembered.
I remember that it brought a lot because it was really well presented and we made a big deal out of it. And it got 113 comments. People were like excited about it, as they should be.
So you're pulling away now. What is it?
I got like 20, dude. It's over for you. 6-3. It's over. You've lost. You went up 3-0.
That's for the sake of as a moral imperative. You have to get this.
I think that there's double points. There's no, it's triple points to where it's a tiebreaker if I get this one done.
All right, fine. I'll do that
Okay.
for you.
All right.
I'll do that for you. If you get this one, I'll let you tie me.
Okay.
But the audience playing at home, following along, will know that I won. Okay? Do you?
The most inside baseball game show ever. But yeah. Okay.
Last car. It's going to be worth 5 points.
It's going to be worth 5 points in order to placate him because he's losing by so
No,
much.
because they're so tired of you winning everything.
I wanna see
They're
you
so
lose.
annoyed that they're like,
What if I end
they're
up with
giving me a
11?
chance.
So,
5 points.
so we're
Still 11.
gonna give you. It's possible 5 points just to allow you the opportunity to beat me because
Correct.
you couldn't beat me with the regular rules. Okay, pull it up. I'm not afraid of you. You don't scare me.
Please.
I'm trying.
For the love of all the
I know his head needs to fit out that door later, so
All right, you ready
I
for
need
this?
to win.
Bring it.
Here we go. Last car.
All right. Well, he's going to remember exactly what it sold for.
No idea what
But
this
you
one
have
sold for.
fellow Countach owner. You should be up to date on
You weren't paying attention to this?
I was paying attention. But
I
not that
actually
good
don't
attention.
remember exactly what it sold for, but I know about what it sold for. You want me to give you the particulars? I drove this car.
Really?
Yellow over brown. It's a QV. It's fuel injected like yours.
And you didn't buy this one because...
I didn't want a fuel injected car. I
That's
still
right. Okay.
Do you want to get into the pros and cons of
No,
fuel?
I know the pros and cons.
Before we do the thing, let's settle this score.
They sound better, they're more powerful, they're less reliable. That's the argument, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should hear it.
Oh, I
He
know.
admitted it.
It
That
is
is
like
the first
qualifying for
Countach
Le Mans.
I ever drove was,
It's
carbureted,
so-
downdraft, yeah.
Now, of course, when he starts and it goes, and he goes, dang it. And he has to start it, just try to start it again because the carbs won't quite pick
I
up.
got my carbs beautifully tuned by Evans.
Okay.
Yeah, it
and
runs really
That'll
well.
last
great.
That'll last a year with ethanol fuel, and then you do it all over again.
Send it back to Evans.
Meanwhile, I'm cursing myself, but every time. Yeah.
I haven't had mine not start yet.
Okay.
6 months I've had it. I've actually put like 1,000 miles on it. So I didn't get this car for two reasons. Number one is because it was a fuel injected car. Number two, I really don't like the side strakes. I think the side strakes not only are worse, but literally ruin the entire look of the car. To me, it was buy a round belly or buy nothing.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on my mind.
So, and
What a
with
connoisseur.
25th, they went so crazy with everything that the side strakes kind of...
I actually kind of prefer the 25th to just my car with side strakes at it.
Right.
I think that
I
this
agree.
looks like a trash facelift. The anniversary looks like people went nuts and bad stuff happened and just do it.
it's just crazy.
It's crazy.
Something about the side strakes to me always made it look like a kit car. Like
Yeah.
it really looked like that was just something you do.
Imagine that image. Imagine if it was a round belly in that image, it would look so
looks so
good.
good.
But it isn't. And I really didn't want that. But all the 88.5 cars, which this is, were side straight cars. So there was no way to avoid it. 88.5 was desirable because it had the climate control from the anniversary.
So I don't remember if it was within $5 is what yours is going to be, and I don't remember if it at all. So but I'm just going to... Okay.
525, is that yours?
Yeah.
525. I said 675, which is precisely what it sold
precise
for.
one was.
I get the extra 5 points, 11-3.
Go on to another game that Doug wins. It's so infuriating.
Tell me.
We tried. We stacked it as much as we could.
He would remember that exactly.
Yeah,
because
that was
he
an
knows
insane-
Countach. So now he
But
knows.
you own a Countach.
But here's the thing: he will remember exactly how much every single one has sold for the last 20 years because he owns one. Same with the Carrera GTs, same with the Ford GTs. He will know.
I don't
Because,
pay attention to
like,
the Ford GTs, but every Carrera
he
GT and
will know.
Countach I am paying attention
He will
to.
know. I'm not like I'll watch the auction and enjoy it, but then I don't make a spreadsheet and add it to my spreadsheet like he does.
The problem with him is he's got too many cars to care enough about what they all are
That
selling
is-
for. He's just trusting that the market is generally doing okay. And so, yes, obviously, I mean,
Obviously-
reviewed by Doug DeMuro is one of the
Yeah,
selling points. of
right.
the day.
So if we did all cars that I had sold on Cars and Bids, it would have been a clean sweep. It would. That's what you should have done, Ken.
You think
Should
you would have won all those? Do you remember what they all sold
Absolutely,
for? What
yeah.
did the Z3M?
The Z3M.
Hang on. I'll pull this up.
The Z3M.
You,
was,
I have a suspicion that you don't remember because you sell and buy too many cars and
that was-
because
that
you're
was-
incredibly
that,
wealthy.
That one was 25 to 30, and I'm
25 to 30. Give me a
yeah,
number here.
Let's say
Well, I mean, it's also rich coming from you. You didn't know what your RS2 sold for.
I was
so-
$1,000 off. Okay, all right. I'm gonna quiz you a little bit on it.
Okay.
DB7.
the DB7 sold for 34007.
That's exactly right. The Excursion.
The Excursion sold for 2169, something like that.
20,600. Nice try.
2069 Wait, whatever. 20,600. Yeah.
500E.
The 500E, that was a good one. I don't remember that one as well. But
Oh, you know, you didn't own it at the time. You had previously owned
Yeah,
it. So
that's
I'll skip
tough.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Prowler.
the Prowler was 20s, like 23, 24.
24.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Mini Cooper S MC40.
Yeah, that one barely broke into 10 grand, right? 11 or something?
9,400.
Okay.
05 Suburban Z71.
That went higher than I thought. High teens, like 17.
16.5.
Yeah.
Okay, you did pretty well.
Yeah.
on those. I would have done that, though. I got no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
I would have
right.
beaten you in that game, too.
You wouldn't have remembered any of those within anything.
I didn't remember that you
okay.
sold a
Next on
single one
just
of those cars.
Hoovie's car. Yeah, we'll just do cars that both of you. have sold
That's the
instead.
only way to get him to be victorious, apparently, is just give him his own vehicles.
We
Yes.
could- yeah, maybe next time ones that you have owned and sold on the site, and cards you have reviewed. Maybe
To
that
be
would the
fair,
challenge.
you were pretty close on all those. I mean, even the ones I won. I did go on a clean 7-0 sweep after he got the first
Right.
You're off to such a great start. I was so excited.
You can't come into my house and beat me at my game.
It's like when I play him at tennis. It's the same thing. Like I'm up soaring high, and then all of a sudden he just comes.
Oh, I
through.
could beat him at tennis any day of the week.
You want to go?
My first job was a tennis pro with teaching kids and played in, yeah.
We got an hour.
I'll play. Let's go.
Okay, and with that, everyone, goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry to watch another Hoovie defeat, but not that sorry.